Hey there, what up? I'm Maryam. Today on the channel, I am going to be reviewing something from this very cool chrome silver bag. Actually, it's the new Huda Beauty blush filter palettes. We've seen these all over. We've seen them on the gram, on TikTok. We have some really fun colors, also some wearable colors. Also, this is the first powder blush launch for Huda Beauty, the brand. So this is exciting. The fact that these are quads is also very exciting. The fact that these are trending colors like Hello Blush Blindness, I am personally very ecstatic about that because I do love me a pink blush. So today I want to swatch everything. I want to show you some close-ups. I want to talk about these products and of course slap them on in all the different ways that they are meant to be worn. So let's go ahead and get started. I hope you're here for this. Subscribe if you aren't already.
You can talk about Huda rejecting Huda.
What?
Love Island.
I don't know.
I want some tea.
Okay. Awkward. Okay, I'm not gonna cut that out. Lee wants some tea. He's not here for the blush. He's not here for the makeup. He wants to know why Huda rejected the other Huda from Love Island. Actually, it's not really a laughing matter. I am just saying, and I don't know much about it because I'm not really like a gossip person. I'm really just here for the makeup. I'm not here for the tea, truthfully. Also, I don't watch Love Island. I don't watch reality TV. I have no idea who this other girl Huda is. I mean, I've seen her because, you know, I do have Instagram and I am on the internets. But anyways, can we just get back to the makeup? So 3 new palettes from Huda. First powder blush launch for the brand. We have Toasty Peach, a quad. We have Baby Pink, another quad. And by the way, there are 3 mattes and 1 pearly shade in here, which is called a blush lighter. So kind of like a blush and a highlighter in one. And then the last one is Roseberry. And this one apparently is Huda's fave from Huda Beauty, that is. And actually, Huda's fave happens to be sold out on Sephora already. These are each $43. Also, there is a brush that is $23. This is the diffusing cheek brush. Thank you. Oh my God. Almost shattered the palette. Oh my God, but I didn't. It was my favorite color. Did you guess that this was my favorite color? So basically there are several different ways that you can wear it. Either you can dip into each of the shades, or you can swirl all of the shades and then apply them together, kind of like in the diffused matter. But for me personally, I don't really like to do that because shimmery blush shades really scare me. I like to apply them a little bit more precisely on a precise brush. So that's kind of what I want to do. But of course, I'll test them in that way as well. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. On my face right now, I am wearing a good amount of the SkintuitionFoundation SPF 30 foundation from Jane Iredale. I mixed shade 38 and 48. Then I powdered down with the Makeup Forever HD Skin Perfecting Press Powder that I really love. Have some concealer, obviously some liner, some lip. And so what I'm gonna do is pop in some swatches for this baby pink, just so you could see what they look like on the arm. I'm just gonna use like my iPhone footage so you could like really see it crisp and close and personal. But first what I wanna do is I kind of wanna apply these in an ombre. So I'm gonna start with the lightest shade here, the matte. I'm gonna apply that really close to my eye, just using this Refer brush. Very nice. Obviously matte formula, there is good pigmentation, but it feels very cloudy. It feels very velvety, if that makes sense. I'm gonna clean up the brush a little bit, and then I'm gonna dip into this shade here. I feel like this color palette doesn't translate on camera. In my monitor, it looks so muted, and when I did my close-ups, it looked completely washed out, but these colors are bright. In person, this palette and this color story is punchy. It is in your face. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit, and I'm gonna apply that right underneath. Oh yeah. So this is a bit of a cooler pink than the first one, kind of like an orchid pink. Really pretty. Again, very soft and velvety, very punchy. Cleaning up the brush, and then I'm gonna pick up the final shade, the brightest of them all. And this is kind of like a strawberry pink. All of these almost have a neon quality, which is probably why the camera is having a hard time picking them up. I'm gonna apply that all the way on the bottom. So kind of in a trifecta, lightest on the top, cooler in the center, and then the brightest of them all at the bottom. I don't actually know if you can tell the difference here. Maybe a little, maybe not. And now I'm thinking this last shade applied a little bit patchier than the first two. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my powder and I'm just gonna tone down the edge of that. All right, that's a lot smoother. That's easy to fix. What do we think? All right, let's try this blush lighter, which is called Pink Fizz, by the way. Oh! And this I definitely want to apply as a highlighter at the very top of the cheekbone, also on the brow bone, and kind of on the temple. That looks really pretty. I'm really curious to get the Swatch model's reaction. We know how much he hates blush, and I'm wondering what his response to this will be. So I'm going to leave this at that. I want to try a different color combo. And my second fave from all of these is not actually Huda's fave. It is actually the Toasty Peach. I love peach shades on me because they're actually quite close to my natural blush because I do have like a golden yellow undertone. So peach blushes look the most natural on my very warm skin tone. So for that, I really like them. And of course, I always love a pop too. But just like for every day and for just like something more casual, this is what I typically reach for. I'm not so much like a terracotta blush girl. I'm more of like a peachy pink kind of gal. So this is definitely up my alley. I do want to swirl all of them just to see what happens. So this is like one of the ways that they suggest you use these palettes, but I still want to see any like color differentiation. Okay, this first shade, the lightest one, the name of which is Baby Coral, is like the most perfect, barely there peachy shade. I can definitely feel it even on my skin tone. And I love how it just adds this really nice cloudy matte sort of finish. I can still see my freckles. It's not like a super pigmented blush. It's kind of sheer, but it definitely gives you that little bit of color. I like this one. All right, so next I'm going into this shade here. Sunset Lychee. Some people say lychee. That is a big, bad pet peeve of mine because lychees don't lie, okay? Oh, how gorgeous. I think with this formula, I prefer the stippling method a little bit better than the swiping. I think the swiping is what made this just a little bit patchy on this side. But notice that if I just pack it in with this nice dense brush, it just diffuses it so nicely. Also, maybe this is a really great brush. All right, last shade from the Matte's Spice Tangerine. Okay, if you are looking to get an ombre blush, this is probably the most perfect palette to do it with because there's literally a very cohesive sort of story here, as opposed to the pink, which kind of jumps around from neutral to cool to warm. So it's a little bit more difficult to get that ombre effect if that is what you're going for. I think this particular shade would best be used individually or swirl together, but not if you want to apply all four kind of like in the strategic place sort of way. Whereas the Toasty Peach definitely can do that for you because all of the shades are leaning warm. And so it just becomes a lot easier to work with. Also, I gotta say, this blush is hot fire. What are you laughing at?
Diamond Diligent.
Oh my God, let's not give away our age. Dylan. You are very controversial tonight. What is going on with you? Silence. All right, I'm gonna pick up the highlighter shade. Oh, that is glorious, honey. I think of the two palettes, I can honestly say I like the Toasty Peach just a little bit more. I think it's a more cohesive palette. It's a better color story. It's just a little bit better on the skin, on me. However, the pink definitely has some really pretty shades. This, if worn alone, actually any of these, if worn alone or with the highlighter, would probably work just fine. But again, just a little bit messy for my taste. All right, here we go. All right, swatch model, you're allowed to speak now. Please come over and tell me what you think of my look. Well, this is just step one. So tell me what you think. I don't even want to look at your face right now. Why do you have the biggest smile from ear to ear? Like a very judgmental smile. I'm just gonna like give you guys a play-by-play. His face right now, he is hesitant. He wants to say things, but he is like fading the smile slightly. Tell me.
I'm not a fan. Looks like you got Lucky Charms.
What?
Cereal. Like, you know the Lucky, like the cereal that they got made out of the
Marshmallow?
Yeah, marshmallow. Looks like somebody broke it on your cheek.
Which side though?
I like that side. That's cute.
Okay.
That's better. That, no ma'am. It looks like a bad shade from Fenty.
Bad shade from Fenty? What do you mean? What's so bad about Fenty?
I don't like the color.
You like the color? Okay, and this color you like?
I like.
Okay.
I just like the fact, like, okay, so what I don't like about blush when it's like the way I'm looking at this one here is when I can't see your undertone. When, to me, a blush is that of what it says to be, blush. It's an idea of hinting of vulnerability. sexuality. Right? No, it is. It's if you look even in Japanese culture, right? It's about the bashfulness, a sense of
This is not bashful blush to you. This is unrealistic blush. Okay, so basically what you're saying is that this looks unnatural.
calling for attention, insecure, too pigmented. I don't know who would wear that and be taken seriously.
Okay, thank you for your input.
Sorry, too rough.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That was just one color story. We are testing it.
The other one's more sophisticated, looks expensive, very pretty. I like the fact that I can see your freckles through it. It's translucent.
Oh, you're saying this is covering freckles?
Yeah, so I said it's too intense.
Okay, gotcha. Maybe it's me,
It
but
might be a skin tone. Maybe a deeper skin tone may handle it better.
maybe.
But
Revealing myself. Yeah.
look at that.
All right, thank you for your input. That's okay. We knew that already anyway. Just wanted to get his opinion because we value his opinion around here. Sometimes he has good points to say. Sometimes he's dead wrong though. I feel like there's a time and a place for this blush. And yes, it's playful. And yes, this is very, very trendy. Actually gonna give it another attempt because we're not done here. We are not through. All right, let me patch up this reveal. There we go. Easy does it. Of course, as always, if you're gonna apply powder blush, you need to apply powder on top of your foundation so that it doesn't get streaky, so that it doesn't get cakey and tacky and weird. So this absolutely needs to be powdered down. So there we go. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try the final shade, Huda's fave, Roseberry, this one right here. And by the way, I gotta say, the fact that the carton comes in the shade of the palette is very cute and it's very thoughtful. And although I appreciate this packaging, it definitely matches my Huda Beauty mirror from the original blush filter launch, the liquid. I kind of would prefer that these blushes would take on the color of the packaging. I mean, I appreciate the fact that the color is on the back, and so like you can see which one you're grabbing, but still, I think this is so cute. This is cool. It is very, very cool, but it doesn't necessarily scream blush. To me, this kind of looks like an eyeshadow palette. Anyway, let's go ahead and test Roseberry. So Roseberry has kind of like a nude shade, a terracotta shade, and like a berry tone type of shade. So I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and swirl these, or if I can try to do that same thing that I tried doing. A little bit of the light. Well, this one's very light, and I guess because it's a nudie shade, it's close to a flesh tone, so it'll be harder to notice. I'm gonna take the redder shade next and add a bit of that. This is very pretty, I will say. Very, very demure, very grown. And now the final shade, very, very nice. Very lovely. You can definitely do a gradient with it. Very punchy, but not too unnatural. I'm gonna actually cut the cheek just like that. I know this is very dramatic, but I just want to try these in as many ways as possible. So I want to see what the swatch model thinks of this one. Don't worry, I am gonna blend it in. Of course, we need the highlighter. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the highlighter, just a little bit on the most protruding part of my cheekbone. Not on the highest, but just on the most protruding right here. I think I like. I think I like. This is cool. This is definitely a really pretty color combo. I feel like it's got kind of like the best of everything. It's got a little bit of peachiness. It's got a little bit of berry. It's got a little bit of wearability. You can kind of do a lot with this particular combo. I like it. All right, so now let's move on to the other side. I am determined to make that pink work. I don't care what he says. Why does it actually look like I'm blushing? I'm not blushing, I'm actually flushing because my skin is really sensitive to rubbing. And so whenever I rub it, it just flushes. Take just a little bit of foundation, patch that up real quick. I told you guys, I want to test this in all the different ways. Powdering that down very thoroughly so there's no stickiness. And we're back with the pink. I'm actually going to use their diffusing blush brush. I'm going to clean that up. I'm going to do it the Huda Beauty way. I'm going to swirl. Like that. Ooh, and I don't know if I should swirl or if I should tap. Ah, what do I do? What do I do? I'm so nervous. I'm gonna go ahead and swirl. This is so much better. I think he's really gonna like this one. So I really did swirl all the shades. And when you swirl all the shades, it gives just the nicest hint of shine. Camera cut off, he fixed it, and now he's here. What do we think of this next? Cheek to cheek.
Better.
Yeah?
I still like, it's the same one on that side, right? No, it's a little lighter, more muted peachy, no?
I'll have you know, that this is the exact same palette as I had before.
Really?
On this side. Do you remember what I had on this side? What you actually hated? It was this. However, it was all the colors individually placed and kind of like packed on. Here, I swirled them all together and I applied them just to the cheek.
So that's a combination of all four?
That's a combination of all four and applied with a diffusing brush like this.
Oh, I like that.
So it's a different technique, but the same shades. So it wasn't really the shades that you didn't like. You just didn't like the opacity. You didn't like the intensity of the shades.
Sure, whatever you say.
Okay, but swirl together like this. This you like.
Well, yeah, chill.
Or is that becoming too much for you?
Too much. Relax.
Okay, stay here. This is an experiment. I'm gonna take the highlighter shade. He said to chill, but we're not gonna chill.
Kind of works.
It works?
It's cute. Yeah, kind of. I think it added a little bit more dimension to it, which I don't. I'm not saying I'm crazy about it, but you know, okay.
All right.
I give you my number.
Thanks. What do you think of this side?
I'm not sure if that's the right color for you. It's not bad. It's a little too. I'm covering up a black and blue.
Really? You don't like the color?
It's not a bad color. I just don't know if it works for you.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you for
I
your
wouldn't say it's a bad color. I just think like it's a bit scruffy.
scruffy.
Yeah, like it looks bruised. I don't know. I'm just giving you the first thing that comes to my brain.
All right. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
We're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more. Okay.
Should I stay here?
No, you can go. I will surprise you. Okay, so what we have learned here is that the Swatch model, aka male, does not like bright blush. I think he likes a natural blush. Doesn't matter the color. I think he likes a more delicate application, is what we've learned. I'm gonna have to agree. But I will say that there is a time and a place and a moment for everything. We are just beating up my skin today with all of this makeup. Quick patch. I'm gonna go for Roseberry one more time because I actually do really like this color palette. I think it is my color. I'm gonna swirl it just like that. This is what it looks like swirled. I will say though, the shimmery shade in the Roseberry palette is quite vibrant. So it gives a lot more than just a sheer satiny finish the way that the baby pink did. Baby pink still looks quite wearable, although I do have the highlighter on top. But you guys remember, it looked very, very wearable when swirled together. This, on the other hand, looks a lot more shimmery and a lot more metallic. So if you don't want that, might want to just swirl the three. All right, I think I get it. I think I understand the concept. I will say, out of all of these, my absolute favorite palette is definitely the Toasty Peach. It is just so dainty. It is so fresh looking. It is just adorable. And of course, I do love the baby pink, but I think for me and like for my skin tone and for, I guess, just the vibe that we want to portray, I think in my case, it is best to either use one shade or swirl them all together for like a little bit of a blurred focus finish, because this is a really, really vibrant, this is a nearly neon kind of blush palette. And so be careful with that one. Obviously, I don't even think this is skin tone dependent. I think this is just color dependent. It is a very unnatural type of flush. No one actually flushes this way, but this is also a very, very trendy color. And so I know a lot of people are gravitating towards that baby doll kind of pink blush look, myself included. So with that color, I just think you need to play around and you really just need to make sure you layer it properly and you use the proper tools. This shade, although it looks like it's the most wearable one, has a pretty metallic, very, very super shiny blush lighter. So swirling all four will result in a much more shimmery finish than the others, which is not a bad thing. Just kind of like my observation about the different formulations and how different colors react to different formulas. So that is my very thorough review with all sorts of opinions, with all sorts of takes on these palettes. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And on that note, I think I'm going to say farewell. I'm not going to ask the Swatch model for his final opinion. I think I know what he's going to say. I think we get the point. And so on that, I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to say farewell to you guys. Peace out. I'm out. More videos over here. Deuces!